All right, so 'tis the season. Oh, my head's cutting off. 'Tis the season for Christians, as well, conservative Christians anyway, to whine that they don't have a monopoly on the month of December. It's no longer just that Christ is the reason for the season and that Christmas is a religious holiday. It is now the entire freaking month of December is dedicated to Christmas. So, to the latest article. Christian conservatives rage at winter solstice celebrators. This is our season, not yours. Except that people have been celebrating the winter solstice long before Christianity ever existed. But when have facts ever gotten into the way of the way these people see the world? Anyway, and by seeing the world, it means that the world revolves around them. So, back to the article. The anti-LGBTQ plus organization Catholic League put up a billboard in Wisconsin claiming ownership over the season of winter and specifically calling out atheists as well as people who celebrate winter solstice, a holiday that has been celebrated since the Stone Age. That is, since well before Christianity existed. Which, again, when has facts and reality ever gotten in the way of people who want to believe that the world revolves around them? And atheists strike out at Christmas, the billboard reads. Celebrating winter solstice is a child's game. This is our season, not yours, it continues. Celebrate the birth of Christ. Merry Christmas. Okay. Now, before I read the rest of the article, atheists strike out at Christmas. You do not have to be an atheist to understand that the winter solstice is a thing. Number one. Number two, Christians would be shocked at how many of their celebrations, how much of how they celebrate Christmas is actually taken from paganism, which, again, are not atheists. Pagans are not atheists because they do believe in spirits. Granted, they're natural spirits, so they at least, come close to reality, but they still think that the natural world is inhabited by spirits. That is not atheism. Atheism isn't anyone you do not like. It's, by that measure, you could call Muslims atheists, you could call Jews atheists, simply because they don't believe like you. That is not what atheism means. Atheism simply means that we do not believe in God. And by that I mean we do not believe God exists. So, yeah. Pagans believe in some supernatural. So technically, no, not atheist. Alright, the billboard says that it's paid for by the Catholic League for Religious and Civil Rights. Oh, the oxymoron. The group's website also takes credit for the billboard, stressing that the Christmas season is our season. We rule, they lose. Okay, so every extremist has to be a toddler. Cool. The website explains that the billboard is a response to signs that the religious freedom organization Freedom from Religion Foundation, or FFRF, puts up each year in Madison, where its headquarters are located. Ah. So basically, you're butthurt that people could have a different opinion than you. Uh huh. Sure. Anyway, at this season of the winter solstice, let reason prevail, their sign says, according to a photo posted by independent journalist Hemant Mehta. I hope I pronounced that correctly. There are no gods, no devils, no angels, no heaven or hell. There is only our natural world. Religion is but myth and superstition that hardens hearts and enslaves minds. Yeah, I have no problem with that. So their response is to have a temper tantrum that you can't take our season from us when the winter solstice exists because of astronomy and existed long before Christianity, but somehow that's an affront to Christians. Just because he added that religion is a myth. The only difference between modern day religion and myths like the Greek myths, the Norse myths, is that nobody believes in those anymore. But that's literally the only difference. Bill Donahue, the president of the Catholic League, told the Christian Post that he hopes our billboard emboldens Catholics, letting them know they will not be bullied by our adversaries. Who the hell is bullying? This billboard was framing a viewpoint of atheists that religion is bunk, but the winter solstice is very much real because astronomy. It's the shortest day of the year. It's every day the days get longer. It's the start of winter. I mean, I do not know how that is bullying. Nobody, or at least no atheist should. Maybe there are anti-theists who do this, but those are not all atheists. Anti-theists are just a subset of atheists. But most atheists will not go up to a Christian and make a big deal over their being Christian. They'll just walk on by. They're not going to say anything if you wear a cross around your neck. They're not going to say anything if you have a cross tattoo, except for chuckle to themselves that tattoos are against the Bible. But they're not going to actually approach you and say anything unless you're an asshole to them first. And then, it's open season. But nobody's bullying you. Like I said, there might be some anti-theists who do. But for the most part, these billboards, not bullying. Giving a different point of view is not bullying. The Catholic League and Donahue have a long history of attacking LGBTQ plus rights. Donahue opposes marriage equality and supports conversion therapy. He has called AIDS self-inflicted, said trans people don't exist, and compared marriage equality with South African apartheid. Right, because forcing people to live apart, and if you're familiar with Trevor Noah, where his parents literally had to walk on opposite sides of the street, and Trevor Noah was running after his dad, completely not understanding why his white dad, was shunning them because, he didn't want to get into trouble. Is totally the same as allowing two people who love each other, who happen to be of the same sex, to marry. Yeah. Can't imagine what's different about that. AIDS is self-inflicted. Technically you could say that about any sexually transmitted disease that you choose not to protect yourself from. You could say that any of them are self-inflicted in that regard. Or does he think that sexually transmitted diseases only started with AIDS and that gonorrhea doesn't exist? I'm not exactly sure where to even go with that. Of course he supports conversion therapy, because of course he does. Trans people don't exist. Well, yeah, there are a lot of people who they don't want something to exist, so they're going to pretend they don't. Because it's so much easier to pretend they don't exist than to confront a messy reality. But that explains why this article is on LGBTQ Nation. Last year, Donahue was outraged against the LA Dodgers for honoring the LGBTQ plus charitable group Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence during Pride Month. Oh, what horrors. He accused the MLB of spreading lies, rewarding hate speech, and promoting bigotry with homosexuals, known for simulating a sodomy while dressed as nuns. What? What pride parades do you go to? Okay, now, what lies are MLB spreading? That's Major League Baseball for those of you who aren't into sports. Rewarding hate speech. What hate speech is being rewarded? What speech is being rewarded? Acknowledging that an oppressed group is oppressed during Pride Month. How is that rewarding hate speech exactly? Or are you just butthurt that nobody is rewarding you for being hateful? And promoting bigotry. Again, what bigotry? What bigotry is being promoted? Telling the LGBT plus community that there's nothing wrong with them, that they belong, that there's nothing wrong with them simply for being LGBT plus. How is that promoting bigotry? That's actually promoting inclusion. Or are you just butthurt that people don't like you because of your views? Because that's not bigotry. People are not allowed to like other people based on their views. That's not bigotry. Because they're not disliking you because of your skin tone, your sexuality, your gender identity. They're disliking you because of what shit comes out of your mouth. That's not bigotry. Known for simulating sodomy while dressed as nuns. I'm sorry, what? Like I said, what pride parades are you going to that you think that's happening? Is it because there's a LGBT plus group that's called the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence that you decide that, oh, they're nuns engaged in simulating sodomy as opposed to actual sodomy? I'm very confused what exactly he thinks is happening. Donahue was able to get Senator Marco Rubio, a Republican from Florida and Trump's pick for Secretary of State, to speak out against the Dodgers, and the Dodgers eventually caved to his demands and uninvited the sisters from the team's Pride Night. I think I did a video when this happened over the summer. I can't remember. After outcry from LGBTQ plus fans, the Dodgers re-invited the sisters several days later. And, it kind of puts a bad taste in your mouth that the Dodgers don't actually care about the LGBT plus community. They just care about their money. Because if they actually cared, they would never have caved to begin with. So I do not consider this a win for the LGBT plus community Because, okay, great, our voices were louder than the bigots. Wonderful. However, the fact that we had to do that to let them know that you have more fans who are allies or part of the LGBT plus community before they decided that, okay, we're gonna, go back to our original idea, tells me that they actually only care about butts in seats and not the actual community. Which I guess shouldn't surprise me because that's the way a lot of businesses are run. There is evidence that winter solstice, or the shortest day of the year, and the beginning of winter, has been honored in the Northern Hemisphere since prehistoric times. Well, yeah. Megalithic monuments like Newgrange and Stonehenge align with the position of the sun on winter solstice, and diverse cultures have written records of celebrations held on that day. But we don't care about that because as conservative Christians we want to celebrate our ignorance and celebrate our narcissism, that the world revolves around us. That's just the way it is. Christmas, on which Christians celebrate the birth of Jesus, likely evolved from winter solstice celebrations, historians believe. Like I said, a lot of what we do to celebrate Christmas, it was originally pagan. I mean, you might not like to hear that, but Christmas is like that, Easter is like that, because let's face it, what the hell do eggs have to do with the resurrection of Christ? Nothing. What does a Christmas tree have to do with the birth of Christ? Nothing, because evergreens did not exist in the Middle East. So, yeah, that's just, I'm sorry, what? So yeah, there is a lot of paganism in these religions, and it's just maddening that Christians steal things. Well, actually no, that checks out from their prior behavior, historical behavior of stealing other people's shit and then whining that when people want their shit back, or in this case, having their celebrating their own shit that's been going on long before Christianity. Like Hanukkah, that's older than Christmas. Well, celebration of Christmas anyway. I can't remember when the Maccabean War happened. But that happens in December. That actually happens right around Christmas. Depending on the year, it sometimes is concurrent to Christmas. Are you seriously telling me that Jews are not allowed to celebrate Hanukkah because of you thinking that December only exists for Christians? It's just so stupid. Other holidays exist. You are not the center of the universe as much as you would like to be. And in some cases, these holidays have been celebrated long before anybody had heard of Christianity, because it was being practiced long before any modern day religion existed. So, you want to celebrate Christmas a certain way? Great. But don't tell other people that they're celebrating, whether it be the winter solstice or the very modern Festivus or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, whatever holiday you celebrate that just so happens to coincide with Christmas or is relatively close to Christmas. Let them. They're not harming you. You celebrate the way you want to celebrate, what holidays you want to celebrate. You don't get to tell other people that they're not allowed to celebrate because you've decided the entire month belongs to you. It's just stupid and maddening because that is not how this works. Anyway, that is all I have for this video. And I hope you guys have a happy holidays, no matter what holiday you celebrate or whether you don't celebrate at all. Anything. Just celebrate the season, try to have fun, do whatever it is you believe or not believe. Anyway, with that, I will see you guys in the next video.